Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back to the Thunderdome. We're here for Game 2 of today's doubleheader between the Edgewood University Eagles and the Concordia Chicago Cougars. Game 1 was a dominant performance out of Edgewood. They came in Thunderdome and cruised past the Cougars 14-7, taking advantage of a lot of walks and a lot of defensive miscues on Concordia's end. Cougars coming into Game 2 looking to bounce back and pick up a win in a split series on Senior Day. And out on the mound for the Cougars starting Game 2 is one of your seniors, Elliot Higgins, picking up the start today for the Cougs. On the year, Elliot is made one start, 3 appearances, pitched 6 innings, and through that very, very small sample size has a 16.5 ERA. He struck out 6 batters through those 3 innings, and he'll be starting off today against Hayden Hellenbrand. Edgewood keeping the exact same starting lineup as they did in Game 1, and Hellenbrand starts things off with a foul ball down the third baseline.
First pitch thrown at 3:51, game time temperature 50 degrees.
0-1 pitch. Just off the plate for ball 1. Makes it a 1-1 count on Hellenbrand. And Hellenbrand going to lift that to left field. Holloway jogging under it to make the play. There's out number 1. Higgins makes quick work of Hellenbrand. And up to the plate comes Kyle Prindle. Kyle Prindle out a very solid game, capped off by a big double. That drove in a few. Higgins settles in and fires. Prindle showing bunt. He backs off, takes it for a ball. The 1-0 from Higgins. Swung on and chopped foul by Prindle. Took a big hack at that one. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Nobody on for Prindle. Here's the 1-1. That's high. Makes it 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the way from Higgins. Just off the plate. Ball 3. Here's a 3-1. Over to second. Picked on a hop by Sperando. How about that for a defensive play? That took a really awkward hop coming off of the grass. And Sperando able to jump up and catch it in front of the face. He had a very solid performance in the middle infield in Game 1. And that's a great job of just sticking with the ball through the play to finish it off. That's out number 2 and brings Jacob Carney up to the plate. Carney, the first baseman, in a 1-1 count. Higgins kicks and fires. And Carney takes that on the inside for strike 2. 1-2 count on Carney. Higgins kicks and fires. Grounded over to second. Sperando takes it over to first. Out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Elliot Higgins. He makes quick work of the top of the Edgewood lineup. We head to the bottom of the first. Cougars coming up to bat. And we'll run through that starting lineup for Concordia right here really quick. Leading off for Concordia in game number 2, it's the same top 6 top 5 in the order, top 4 in the order. Cam Buckley leading things off for CUC. Buckley struggled going 0 for 6 in game number 1. Brendan Holloway batting second. Jake Mahler and Brandon Mahler batting third and fourth, respectively. Dom Owens moves up to 5th in the order. He's catching today. Xavier Zagerman in right field, batting 6th. Connor Jerkadis, he's over at first base in game 2. He's batting 7th ahead of Jeffrey Beckert and Richie Sperando at short and second base. Middle infield rounding out the batting order today for the Cougars. On the mound today for Edgewood, one of their top starters, Cashton Jones. Jones on the year, he's started 5 games. He's pitched 33 and 2/3. He's had 7 appearances, 2 of those in relief. And through those 33 and 2/3, he has a 3.48 ERA, which leads all of Edgewood's pitchers, starters, and relievers. He's got 26 strikeouts to 17 walks, giving up an opponent batting average at 246. But as we learned in game 1, those stats coming into a game don't tell you the whole story about how a pitcher's day is going to go. Edgewood hoping for another good start out of Cashton Jones. Cougars hoping the offense can get things moving earlier in game 2. And so is Cam Buckley. Had, like we mentioned, a rough game 1. He's looking to turn things around right away here in game number 2 as he leads things off for the Cougs. Buckley steps in against Jones. And he'll take that on the inside edge for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 from Jones. Buckley grounding it to short. Prindle charging over to first in time for out number 1. New game, same result for Cam Buckley. Now bring Brendan Holloway up to the plate with 1 out.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 17, Brendan Holloway.
Holloway picked up a pair of singles in game number 1. He steps in against Jones for the first time in game 2. And immediately flares that into right field for a base hit. That is an awkward hit, but it's a hit nonetheless. Took a hack at a pitch high and in, and it just kind of flares off the top of the bat into right field. Nobody's there. And the Cougars get a man on with 1 out.
Jake Mahler.
Jake Mahler up to the plate now. Was able to get on base towards the end of last game. Takes that on the outside edge of the plate for a strike. Again, on a day that the wind is blowing out on the Cougars, this is a very power-heavy team up until Aurora, who's been very hot at the plate lately, started to get ahead. They were leading the NAC. 39 home runs on the year for the Cougars. That didn't change in game 1. A total of 21 runs scored across both teams. Not a single dinger from either team. That's a bit shocking for the Cougars. It's not kind of what they're expecting. They want to be able to produce runs primarily through manufacturing. That's the most consistent, reliable way. But you still want to see a few of those shots go out. The big producers of that in this Cougars lineup all year long have been Jake and Brandon Mahler. As Jake lifts that to left center. And that'll be caught by Dominic Lee coming over to make the play for out number 2.
Batting fourth,
With 2 outs and a man on first, Brandon Mahler coming up to the plate for the Cougs. Mahler, a double, single, and a sac fly in game 1. He's the designated hitter for the Cougars in game 2. Takes that first pitch low for ball 1. Cashton Jones, he's allowed to hit, but he's been very efficient. Just 6 pitches thrown to make that 7 on that swinging strike for Mahler. 1-1 count on Brandon Mahler. 1-1. Swing and a miss down low. Holloway going for second. It gets into the outfield. Late release from Holloway to go for third. He'll still make it in easily. And the home plate umpire is calling it a foul ball. So, naturally, Coach Matt Smith is going to come out and have a discussion with the home plate ump. That is a very late call. And as you can imagine, the Cougar faithful not too happy with that. I mean, if it's a foul ball, fine. The umpire didn't, audibly indicate that it's a foul ball until Holloway was almost all the way at third. And then the umpire giving a warning to the Cougar bench. They wave off the third base coaches as well. So, after all of that, it's a foul ball and a strike, and Brendan Holloway is at second. As first. Brendan Holloway's at first. As the ump show is over and we get back to baseball. That pitch off the plate for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mahler takes that low for ball 3. Full count on Mahler. Jones back on the rubber. Here's the payoff. Grounded up the middle, into the outfield for a base hit. Holloway on the way to third. Slide is down. He is in safely. Throw way offline either way. It's a base hit for Brandon Mahler. Advance Holloway to third, and he moves up to second on the throw. So after all of that, you end up getting Holloway on third, and you get Mahler at second to boot anyways. Obviously, you could have had a run, but you'll take what you can get. Second and third for the Cougars. Owens now stepping into the box. Dom Owens had a very good game 1. Productive, drew a lot of long at-bats, got on base, walks, errors, and singles. Takes that one inside for a strike. He doesn't like the call. He gets confirmation that was actually on the plate, and then he steps out of the box for a timeout, resets himself. 0-1 pitch. Owens grounds out over to second. Comer charging over to first. That's out number 3. Jones has to sweat a little bit, but he keeps it scoreless. We head to the top of the second, 0-0, as Edgewood will come back up to bat.
for the Eagles. The second baseman.
And we're back in the top of the second. Aiden Comer up to the plate to lead things off in this inning for Edgewood. Elliot Higgins back out on the mound for the Cougs. One-0 count, make that a single into center field. Comer laces it straight away to space. That's the leadoff man on with no outs. Runner at first, no outs then for Mac Vesperman.
The designated hitter, number 32, Mac Vesperman.
Picked up a pair of RBIs with a single to right field in game one. Wind still blowing out to right field. Higgins fires in for a strike. Checking over to first. Fires again. That one, 2 inside for ball 1. Even up at 1. Higgins fires. In there. Strike 2. Catches the corner. One-two count on Vesperman. Higgins throws over to first. Comer's back in time. The 1-2, swing and a miss. He gets Vesperman fishing. Another K for Higgins.
The left fielder.
And now Dominic Lee up to the plate for Edgewood. Higgins checks to first. Now he fires. That's fouled off by Lee to the track. That'll be strike 1. Sets it up with an 0-1 count. Fires it on the inside edge again for strike 2. You go back to game 1, it was a lot of walks given up by the Cougar pitching staff in the game, and a lot of that comes down to not being able to consistently find the zone, or at the very least get around the zone. That time Lee flies it up to center field. Buckley settling under it to make the play for out number 2. And what we've kind of seen here from Higgins in these first 2 innings is he's keeping it in the zone. And it's not straight over the zone. Obviously, that was a pretty easy pitch for Aiden Comer to hit on that single, but it's not straight over the zone, keeping it on the edge. But the biggest part is even if it's not over the plate, even if it's not a strike, it's still around the plate. You're forcing the batter to make competitive swings, make some tough calls. You're getting more strikes. You're filling up the zone. Every at-bat's competitive, and you're not giving away those free balls. There, Higgins pulls the string on it, goes off the plate for a ball. Throw over to first. Comer's back safely. Higgins checks back on first. Throws over to first. Comer's back standing. Higgins back on the rubber. He'll kick and fire. In there for a strike. This is kind of that ball to strike ratio. Right now, 7 balls of 15 strikes. It's so huge for a pitcher if you're forcing strikes, filling up the zone. Throw over to Comer again. He's back safely again. There's been a bit of a long at-bat. We're still just at a 1-1 count on Truby. I mean, it's just because of all these throwovers at first. It makes it feel longer. Truby up the middle. Nice play by Becker to keep it on the infield. The throw over to Jakatis at first is off the line. So Becker makes a nice play up the middle. Can't make the throw. And that's runners safe at first and second with 2 outs.
Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 33, Charlie Tompak.
Charlie Tompak now up to the plate. With runners at first and second, 2 outs. Higgins checks back to second. Now he fires. That's grounded foul off of Tompak's ankle. Oh, 1 count on Tompak. They get the ball back to Higgins. It's an 0-1 count. Make that 0-2. Higgins just firing it in the top of the zone. Gets Tompak sitting with the bat on his shoulder. The 0-2. Way off the plate, ball 1. I think part of the approach we're seeing here from Higgins is different to the other pitchers because he's simply just attacking the zone. And you saw that a lot. If you look back, especially those appearances from Anthony Polano and Dave Dimling, when they started out their outings on the mound, they were working around the zone a lot. It wasn't straight to the point, attack the zone, attack the zone. Here, Higgins has been attacking the zone as that's laced into left field for a base hit. Rounding third is Comer, and he will score. And the throw home is going to allow everybody to move up a base. Truby to third, Tompak to second. That's going to put runners at second and third, 2 outs for Carter Kelly.
Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 10, Carter Kelly.
Kelly steps in against Higgins. Takes that high for ball 1. 1-0 count. Pitch on the way. That's fouled down, makes it 1-1. The 1-1 from Higgins. Swing and a miss. Kelly way out ahead of it. Here comes the 1-2. That's off the plate for ball 2. Evens things up. Higgins trying to get out of the inning. A 2-2 on the way. That's lifted into left field. Holloway charging on it, makes the play for out number 3. A little bit of a 2-out rally for Edgewood. They push a run across and take the lead 1-0. We head to the bottom of the second. Cougars looking to punch back when we return. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network.
The bottom of the second for the Cougars. Right fielder.
Bottom of the second, Xavier Zagerman leading things off for the Cougs. And as Cashin Jones heads back out onto the mound for his second inning of work. Jones fires. And Zagerman fouls that straight back in the backstop. 0-1 count on Zagerman. Outside, ball one, evens things up, one apiece. The pitcher getting a warning for eye contact, I believe. The 1-1 pitch. Zagerman lifts that into right field. And the play is made out in right field for out number one.
Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 72, Connor Jerkadis.
So Connor Jerkadis stepping up to the plate for the Cougs with one out and nobody on. Jerkadis making the start at right first base in game two. Jones fires, catches the zone for strike one. And that one catches the inside edge. Strike two. 0-2 count on Jerkadis. The 0-2 pitch on the way, in the dirt for ball one. Jones, 1-2 pitch on the way. That's grounded up the middle, charging Prindle, grabbing, slinging, in time. Heck of a play from Kyle Prindle for out number two.
Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 4, Jeff Beckert.
With two outs, Richie Sperando coming up to the plate for the Cougars. Fouls that first pitch off for strike one. Sorry, Jeffrey Beckert stepping up to the plate for the Cougs. That's fired outside. Ball one. 1-1 count on Beckert. Jones fires. And Beckert straight up the middle. It's a worm burner for a base hit. What's a runner at first with two outs? As Richie Sperando steps up to the plate.
Batting ninth, the second baseman, number 8, Richie Sperando.
Sperando, he's continued to be productive at the plate over the last week and continue that in game one. Jones kicks and fires. Catches the outside edge, strike one. Oh, 0-1 count. Jones fires. Catches the outside edge again, strike two. Sperando gonna have to get defensive. The 0-2. As grounded foul to first base. And Carney's able to make the play in time. Heart pounds a little. He's able to pick it up on the bobble and get it there. Cougs strand a man at first. We head to the top of the third, still 1-0 Edgewood when we come back. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. Top of the third, Edgewood leading 1-0. Hayden Hellenbrand up to the plate to lead things off. Elliot Higgins back out on the mound for another inning of work. Fires that first pitch high for ball one. The 1-0. Grounded over to third. Mahler drops it, gets it, fired. And Hellenbrand safe at first. Mahler's throw to first was off the line. Jerkadis tried to apply the tag. Ball got knocked out through contact. And Hellenbrand safe at first.
Shortstop number 2, Kyle Prindle. Truthfully, I think you can give the error there to whoever you think.
So that'll get scored as an error to Mahler. Higgins fires.
Okay.
Bunt goes foul. So Prindle in an 0-1 count. Higgins settles in. Throw over to first. Not in time. Hellenbrand's back safely. Jerkadis jumping up. Almost got him. It was a good turn from Higgins, too. Another throw over. This time Hellenbrand's easily safe. Higgins on the rubber, fires. That's off the plate. 1-1 count. The 1-1. High. Prindle showed bunt. Pulled back. It's a ball. 2-1 count now. Shows bunt again, this time straight to Higgins, going to second for one, over to first. Not in time for two. They're able to cut down the lead runner. Productive play on defense and a good turn and solid strike from Higgins. Even give it a chance at a double play. To be fair, from Prindle, not what you're looking for on the bunt. Way too much sauce behind it.
Number 11, Jacob Carney.
So Jacob Carney up to the plate. Throw over to first. Prindle's back safely. Carney 0 for 1, grounded out to second his first time up today. Higgins gets the call, checks to first. That's going to be in the right field, a base hit. Zagerman fumbles the transfer. Still fires it in. Oh. Oh. Some ugly defense from the Cougars. Zagerman bobbles it. Held it at first and second, and then for some reason on the throw in, Becker and Sperando just weren't ready to catch the transfer. It goes loose between second and third, and then everybody moves up a base. So it's now second and third, 1 out on what was just a base hit into shallow right. That's lifted into shallow left. It'll drop for a knock. 1 run scores. Moving to second. Oh, my goodness. And then the throw, I mean, almost goes under Owens' glove. And Dom Owens immediately calls for time and a mound visit. Coach Matt Smith coming out to the mound. You need a break, and you need to get this defense cleaned up quick. Bit of a questionable decision to throw home on that one from Holloway. You're never going to get the runner coming from third. Could have kept the runner at first.
Corey, are you giving an error on Holloway's throw or just the hitter advancing second on the throw? Again, you can make an argument for either
I
one.
feel like it's just on the throw.
Designated hitter number 32, Mac Vesperman.
So after all of that, second and third, 1 out. Mac Vesperman up to the plate. He's got second and third, 1 out. Higgins fires. Inside, strike 1. Again, it's just kind of frustrating on the mound in these situations. Leadoff runner's on because of an error. You give up a base hit, should be first and second. Poor defense, goes to second and third. You give up a bloop single, goes to second and third again. Holloway makes a play in left, runner tagging up. This time, he goes for the cutoff. So holds a runner at second. Kearney scores. It's now 3-1. So the Cougars' defense just not where it needs to be today, as both of those runs scored
Left fielder number
due to defensive miscues. Whether it's an error or not recorded as an error. Runner at second, 2 outs for Dominic Lee. Oh! And Higgins drills him. And Dominic Lee is down. He crouched trying to get out of the way of it and hit the back of the helmet. And he is still down as the training staff is out to check on him. We're going to cut away for a bit. We'll be right back on the Cougars Sports Network. And we're back in the top of the third. Dominic Lee, after they check on him for a while, he is back up, and he's over at first. So runners at first and second, 2 outs. We get a quick timeout. Some dust got blown up into Dom Owens' mask. And Higgins generates a whiff and gets Truby swinging. Higgins fires again. Another whiff. Whoo! Going right after Truby. The 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate for a ball. Timeout called. Still a 1-2 count. Higgins checks the second. Now he fires. That's laced into right center for a hit. Coming in to score is Comer. And it's first and second with 2 outs. First and third. Runners at the corners. With 2 outs, now a 4-0 ball game. Higgins on the rubber. He'll kick and fire. In there for a strike.
Batters right fielder number 33, Charlie Tompak.
Charlie Tompak, he's 1 for 1 today with a single. And Higgins gets him whiffing again, 0-2. Higgins checking over to first. He'll fire the 0-2. That's fouled down. So Tompak stays alive, but he's still in an 0-2 count. Oh-2 pitch. Still on the way. Higgins checks the bases, kicks and fires. That's high and in, ball 1. One-two count, pitch on. Outside, ball 2. Evens it up at 2 apiece. Tompak's got runners at the corners with 2 outs. Higgins trying to get out of the inning and stop the bleeding. The 2-2 on the way. Throw over to first. Oh, and it gets past Jerkadis. The run scores, and it's a 5-0 ball game. Another error for the Cougs. Higgins spiked it into the dirt. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first for Tompak. Higgins fires. Off the plate, that fills it up. Here's the 3-2 from Tompak. For Tompak. That's going to be lifted foul. He stays alive. He's battled back from being down 0-2 after 2 pitches. Three-two pitch. Off the plate, ball 4. Tom Pack heads to first. And Carter Kelly steps up to the plate with runners at first and second and 2 outs.
Center fielder number 10, Carter Kelly.
Carter Kelly flew out to left his last time up as Higgins fires that off the plate for ball 1. Higgins checking to second. He'll kick and fire. That's popped foul over the backstop. 1-1 count on Kelly. Higgins checking. Fires. Just off the plate for a ball. Two 1 pitch. High and in, 3-1. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Higgins, got to stop the bleeding. Fires. In there for a strike. Kelly was already headed to first, and you don't really blame him. The outside edge of the zone kind of getting a bit inconsistent this inning. It does fill up the count at 3-2. Payoff pitch from Higgins. Steps off, throwing over to first. And Tom Pack's back safely. Everyone's safe. Still a full count. Payoff pitch. Grounded over to third. Mahler snags it, spinning, throwing to first. Not in time. Everyone's safe. Infield knock for Carter Kelly, and it loads it up for Hayden Hellenbrand.
Third baseman number 3, Hayden Hellenbrand.
Hellenbrand reached on an error in the leadoff spot of this inning. He was the first runner to score. Higgins fires. In there, catches the zone for strike 1. 0-1 count on Hellenbrand. Higgins fires. Off the plate, 1-1. Higgins checks to first. Fires. Off the plate again, 2-1. The 2-1 from Higgins. That's popped up just outside of short. Beckert's there to make the play. That ends the inning. But not before 4 runs score, a comedy of errors from the Cougs. And it's a 5-0 ball game as we head to the bottom of the third. We'll be back in just a minute.
number 23, Cam.
And we're back in the bottom of the third. Cougars down big again. They trail 5-0. And they're back to the top of the order. Cam Buckley leading things off for CUC. And he takes a big swing and a miss at that first pitch from Jones. Cougars weren't able to get things going on offense until the 5th inning in game number 1. Got to try and get it going earlier in this one. Buckley rips it up the middle. A diving stop from Prindle over to first. What a play from the shortstop. That's out number 1. Cam Buckley can't buy a hit. He's had some tough breaks today. That brings Brendan Holloway up to the plate with 1 out. Jones fires. That catches his own for a strike. A 1 count on Holloway. Ground to second, charging Comer, picking, throwing over to first in time for out number 2.
The third baseman, number 5, Jake Mahler.
Jake Mahler up to the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. Flew out to left his first time up today, up in this game. He takes that low one out for ball 1. Jones kicks and fires. That's grounded foul over to the dugout for strike 1. One count on Mahler. Takes it low, ball 2. Two 1 pitch. Fouled off, evens it up at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Jones fires. In the dirt. Fills it up. Payoff pitch from Jones. Lifted to center. Kelly tracking back on the track. It's gone! Jake Mahler sends it deep. His first dinger of the day, and the Cougars get a run across. It's 5-1. Drilling it to center field. It keeps carrying. And Jake Mahler, after what's been a tough day for him, he gets some redemption with that shot, his 13th of the year. Jones just left that hanging in the top of the zone, and Mahler punishing it in a big way. Brandon Mahler fouls that one off. A 0-1 count on Brandon. The 0-1 pitch. Takes a big swing and a miss for strike 2. Back on Tuesday against Illinois Tech in Game 2. Jake and Brandon Mahler went back-to-back. And this time Brandon Mahler is going to go down on 3 pitches. He strikes out. We head to the top of the 4th. Cougars able to put up a run off a Jake Mahler dinger. They still trail by 4. It's 5-1 Edgewood when we come back. And we're back, top of the fourth. Edgewood leading Concordia 5-1 through 3. As the Eagles step back up to plate. Kyle Prindle has had a great game defensively. Will lead things off. Higgins kicks and fires. And that's in there for a strike. It's been honestly a frustrating game for Elliott Higgins. And it hasn't been a bad performance from him out on the mound. He's had picking up a lot of strikes, filling up the zone as that's flared into left. Holloway under it to make the play for out number 1. And you take away these errors, you take away these defensive miscues from the defense. This is looking like a much better day for Higgins and the Cougars.
First baseman number 11, Jacob Carney.
And those are things you can work on. Those are fixable things. Cougars will work to fix those. But all in all, hasn't been a bad senior day performance from Higgins. Fires that in for a ball. Jacob Carney at the plate. He singled his last time up into right. Higgins fires. That's high, ball 2. The 2-0 from Higgins. Make that 3-0, well off the plate. Higgins settles on the rubber. He'll kick and fire. And that's in, strike 1. Back into the at-bat. It's a 3-1 count now on Carney. Higgins deals. And that catches the elbow. Maybe. Or it's a walk. Either way, Carney heads to first. Picks up a base.
Second baseman number 1, Aiden Comer.
And that'll put a man on first. 1 out for Aiden Comer. Comer a pair of singles today. Higgins checks, fires. Fouled off for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. That's high. Ball 1. Evens it up at 1 apiece. If Higgins gets through this inning, that's probably his last inning of work today. Up to 75 throw now. He fires the 1-1. Grounded up the middle. Becker can't get there. It's a base hit into center field. Runners at first and second. 1 out now for Mac Vesperman.
Designated hitter number 32, Mac Vesperman.
Vesperman 0 for 1 on the day. A sac fly to center his last time up. Higgins checks and fires. Vesperman, a hot shot into right field. That's a base hit. They're going to send Carney from third. Relay not in time. It's an RBI single for Mac Vesperman. Keeps runners at first and second. 1 out. Extends the lead back to 5. It's 6-1. Pinch hitter for Dominic Lee, who now has been subbed out of the game. It's Ryan Harris. Lee got drilled in the head. His last plate appearance. 0-1 count on Harris. Make that 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 run scored this inning. Runners at first and second. Higgins deals. That's fouled back, 1 and 2. The 1-2 from Higgins on the way. Inside, evens it up at 2 apiece. Way high and in. Fills it up. 3 and 2 on Harris. He's still got just one out. You got guys at first and second. If Harris gets on base, we might see a pitching change. That's fouled back. He'll stay alive. Higgins trying to finish him off. And he does! He gets him fishing low for strike 3. That's Higgins' second K of the day. That brings Ben Truby up to the plate. With runners at first and second and 2 outs. Truby, pair of singles today. He's 2 for 2. He's going to ground that to third. Mahler can't field it cleanly. He throws to first. It's there in time. He wasn't able to step on the bag himself at third. He chucks it to first, and he makes the play there after he can't field it cleanly. That ends the inning. Edgewood puts another run across. Their leads back up to 5 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. It's 6-1 Eagles when we come back. Bottom of the 4th here at the Thunderdome in River Forest. Cougars trailing by 5, 6-1. Edgewood on top as Dom Owens will lead things off for the Cougars in the bottom of the 4th. Cashton Jones out on the mound for his 4th inning of work. He's been efficient. That pitch to Owens was his 40th. Fires that in the zone, 1-1. Yeah, big gust of wind. The 1-1 to Owen. And he laces that into right field for a knock. Leadoff man's on in the bottom of the 4th for the Cougs. Dom Owens picks up a single. Man on first, no outs for Xavier Zagerman. Zagerman flew out to right his last time up. Jones fires. Zagerman lifts that into right center. Drifting back, making the play is Kelly for out number 1. A high fly ball. Kelly's able to make the play. That's 1 out. Owens stays at first. Jerkadis now coming up to the plate for the Cougs. Jerkadis grounded out to short his last time up. Jones kicks and fires. Jerkadis, a hard grounder over to third. Hellenbrand has it, firing to first in time. Just beat the runner for out number 2. That'll bring Jeffrey Becker up to the plate for the Cougs. Becker singled up the middle his last time up. He's got a runner on second with 2 outs for this one. Jones checks and fires. Beckert takes it low for ball 1. The 1-0. That's lifted into left center. That'll get down for a base hit. Rounding third is Owens. He will score. It's an RBI single for Jeffrey Becker. Clutch piece of hitting from the shortstop.
Second baseman number 8, Richie Sperando.
Cougars get another run across. They now trail by 4 as Richie Sperando will come up to the plate for CUC. Sperando grounded out to first his last time up. Jones fires. That's low for ball 1. One of the biggest and most important things for the Cougs here is getting the starting pitcher out of the game. Right now, Jones, just 47 pitches thrown through 4 innings. He's a great arm on the mound. And he's a tough guy to beat. If you can get some long at bats, work the count, force him to throw more pitches, get him out of the game, and get to the bullpen. There's still some tough arms you're going to have to face in there, but not as tough as this. And a lot of the tough arms on this team are starters. So you want to get to the bullpen. Oh, that's a good take from Sperando, just off the zone. For ball 3, ultimate hitters count for Richie Sperando. Here's a 3-0. Fired in, strike 1. Jones gets back into the at-bat. Got Cam Buckley on deck if Sperando can reach safely. He's going to ground that to the right, into the outfield, a base hit. Becker going to pull up at second. A good hold. It's a base hit for Richie Sperando. He does his job. Moves the line 90 feet, brings Cam Buckley up to the plate with runners at first and second. And this guy, Cam Buckley, great player on the year long. Today, he has had a rough one. 0 for 6 in game 1, 0 for 2 in game 2. Part of it's just not making solid contact. Part of it's a bit of bad luck. He's trying to change that here. He's got first and second, 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. He takes that first pitch inside for a ball. Jones fires. And Buckley grounds that off the glove of Carney at first. It's into center field. Beckert scores. They're going to hold Sperando at third. Cam Buckley gets on base, and he drives in a run. It's not glamorous. It's not cool, but it gets the job done, and you'll take that at this point. A hard hit grounder to first base. Carney trying to lay out and get a glove on, and he slaps it into center field. Second and third, 2 outs for Holloway. Into right field! Another run scores! They're going to send Buckley! He's in safely! How about it? Brendan Holloway comes through, and the Cougars are 1 run away from tying the game. Big time 2-out rally for the Cougs. And it's all just on a bunch of grounders. Jake Mahler now up to the plate with a man on first and 2 outs. Mahler homered to straightaway center his last time up at the plate. Jones fires. And Mahler watches that on the outside for a strike. A 1 count. Jones kicks, fires. And Mahler into left field. It's another base hit. I mean, for the offensive game plan for the coaching staff, this is exactly what you want to see. Solid contact, put the ball in play again and again and again. Just make contact, move the line 90 feet. Cougars, and almost all of this with 2 outs at that. You're making noise. That brings Brandon Mahler
Now batting the designated hitter number 9, Brandon Mahler.
up to the plate with runners at first and second and 2 outs. And we're going to get a mound visit. Coach Brizak headed out onto the mound to have a chat with Cashton Jones. Is this inning starting to get away from Cashton Jones? And, yeah, a lot of it's coming with 2 outs. Owens got on, Zagerman got out, Jerkadis got out. He had 2 outs and a man at second. Beckert comes through with a single, Sperando with a single, Buckley with a single, Holloway with a single, now Mahler with a single. A barrage of base hits. First and second, 2 outs for Brandon Mahler. He's 1 for 2 today. He struck out swinging his last time up. And he takes that one and drives it left center! Off the wall! Holloway scores! Here comes Jake Mahler! Brandon Mahler into second! And they get Jake Mahler at home. But that does tie it up. A long hit from Brandon Mahler, drives in a run. We're tied at 6 as we head to the top of the 5th in the Thunderdome. And we're back, top of the 5th. It's all tied up, 6-6. Ooh, and Elliott Higgins. It's a big whiff on that one. And I don't think we track whiffs, but I would love to see the numbers on Higgins today. He has been getting a lot of swing and miss. 1-1 count on Tom Pack. He's going to foul it off, make it 1-2. Higgins, he's given up 6 runs today. Only 3 of them are earned. He's only walked 2 batters. He has 2 strikeouts to go with that. He has given up 9 hits. A lot of singles from both sides in this game. The 1-2. Lifted into right field. Zagerman tracking. Makes the play. That wind in right field making it tricky for the junior.
Center fielder number 10, Carter Kelly.
Carter Kelly now up to the plate. Infield single to short his last time up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Higgins fires. That's high for ball 1. The 1-0. Make it 2-0. Pitch to Kelly. Grounded into left field. Holloway got a lead jump on it. That's going to get to the corner. Kelly going for second. Throws in. It'll hold him at second. It's a double for Carter Kelly. Lines it up down the left field line. And Matt Smith headed out onto the mound. And they're not going to make a change yet. The infield umpire's waving to the bullpen, telling them to come in. I think he assumed there was going to be a pitching change. Coach Smith was not planning on making the change yet. He's got a plan, but he's going to give Higgins a chance to work out of this one. Double for Kelly brings Hayden Hellenbrand up to the plate. We've got a man on second, 1 out.
Third baseman number 3, Hayden.
Both of these teams have done a lot of work with outs on the board. Higgins checks the second, and he fires. That's high, ball 1. One 0 count. That's lifted to center. Buckley charging. Can't make the play. Someone's got to get to it. And Carter Kelly's going to come in to score. A diving attempt from Cam Buckley. A run scored. Just a miscue from Jeffrey Becker.
Shortstop number 2, Kyle Prindle.
So that'll drive in a run on the single. Carter Kelly is able to score on the miscue. Now Coach Smith is going to go out to center to talk to Cam Buckley. They're going to have the trainers come out to check on him. He took a tumble. Diving for that one, took a hard fall. Coach Smith frustrated and Cam Buckley's such a key part of this team, hoping that he's not seriously injured as they check on his glove hand, wrist. Might have rolled over that. And he'll put the glove back on. He'll head back out to center. So Coach Smith heads back to the dugout. Everything's good to go again. 1 run scored on the inning. Edgewood leading 7-6. They've got a man on second and 1 out for Kyle Prindle, who's 0 for 3 on the day. Higgins back onto the rubber. Gets the call in. Checks a second, fires. Bunt, pulls back high. That gets past Owens, and Hillenbrand will move up to third. So that's a runner at third and an out with 1 ball on Kyle Prindle. The 1-0 on the way. That's high, make it 2-0. Pitch. Into left field for a base hit. Hillenbrand will score. Brindle stops at first. That's another run for Edgewood. They lead 8-6. Now Coach Smith's going to head out to the mound. And the Cougs are going to go to the bullpen. That's Higgins' day on the mound, done. He'll head back into the dugout. As the new arm on the mound gets warmed up. We'll take a break. We'll be back in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back, top of the 5th. Cougars, they've given up 2 runs this inning. There's a man on first and 1 out for Edgewood as Matthew Licardi heads out to mound to start his day. This will be his 9th appearance on the year. He's pitched 26 2/3. He's got a 5.06 ERA. 16 Ks to 8 walks, giving up an opponent 324 batting average. Throws over to first. Prindle back safely. No home runs or triple is surrendered by Licard. He's allowed 11 doubles on the year. A little bit of luck going into that. Fires his first pitch to Carney. It's off the plate for a ball. 1-0 count. Licardi will fire. Swing and a miss. Gets a big whiff from Carney. The 1-1 count. Licardi glances at first. Gets the call. Fires. That's in there for a strike. Painting the corner. 1-2 count now. Licardi checking to first. Settling back in. And he fires. Low, ball 2. Evens up the count. Checks on Prindle at first and settles in. The 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. He gets Carney fishing. That's out number 2, and the man on first and 2 outs. Aiden Comer stepping up to the plate.
Second baseman number 1, Aiden Comer.
Comer, he's already 3 for 3 today. He's sprayed out a trio of singles. Throw over to first. Prindle's back in safely. Licardi settles back on the rubber. Checks, kicks, fires. That's low, ball 1. One-oh count on Comer. Oh, lost the grip on that one. Slipped out early. That heads way out. Owens is able to get behind it. Keeps it in play. Prindle stays at first. It's a 2-0 count. Licardi fires. Ball 3. Ultimate hitters count for Comer. Prindle takes his lead over at first. 3-0 pitch. In there. Strike 1. Licardi gets back into the at-bat. The 3-1 on the way. Swing and a miss. And it's a foul tip, but he still gets a big hack. Out of Comer. Full count. 3-2. The payoff pitch on the way. Grounded foul down past third. Comer stays alive. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first. Licardi trying to end the inning. The payoff pitch. Grounded to short. Beckert backhands it over to first in time for out number 3. 6-3 ends the inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Cougars trailing again. They're down by 2. It's 8-6 Edgewood when we come back. Bottom of the 5th. Cougars trailing by 2. It's 8-6 Edgewood. As we're back where we started in the bottom of the 4th, Dom Owens leading off for Concordia. Cashton Jones back out on the mound for the Eagles. CUC put up 5 in the bottom of the 4th. As Owens settles in, and Jones fires that off the plate. Ball 1. Owens 1 for 2 on the day. Singled to right to get things started in the bottom of the 4th. The 1-0. Takes that high. Strike 1. The 1-1 on the way from Jones. Fouls that off to the soccer field. Makes it 1-2. One-two count. Owens back in the box. Jones fires. That's off the plate. Ball 2. Evens things up. The 2-2. Whoo, Owens takes that. Outside, a tough take. And it's a full count. Payoff pitch on the way from Jones. Owens pops that up. That's over towards the Edgewood dugout. Gets blown back into playable territory. That might have landed fair with how much wind that caught if it wasn't caught. But it does pop out. Hellenbrand makes the play for out number 1. Xavier Zagerman stepping up to the plate to follow up Owens. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to right center his last time up. Jones gets the call. He kicks and fires. Zagerman into left field. That'll get down for a hit. He's rounding first. He's going to try for 2. And he is in safely. Comer can't catch the throw. Big time confidence with Xavier Zagerman. Force him to make a play. They don't make the play, and you got a man at second with 1 out. Connor Jerkadis stepping up to the plate for Concordia. Jerkadis 0 for 2 on the day, grounded out to third his last time up. Jones fires. That's blown out for ball 1. One-0 count. Throw back to second. Zagerman's back safely. Nearly caught him napping. Slick work from Comer to sneak up to the bag. Jones fires. Jerkadis takes it again. Same spot, same result. Ball 2. Wind still whipping to right. You got Jerkadis at the plate. Jeffrey Becker on deck. Richie Sprando in the hole. Jones fires. And that time he's able to bring it back over the plate. Same pitch, further middle, and it's 2-1. 2-1 count. Jerkadis into right field. Tom Pack under it. He makes the play. Zagerman tagging up, going for third. He's in safely, standing up. That puts a guy at third with 2 outs for Jeffrey Beckert.
Shortstop number 4, Jeff Beckert.
Beckert, iffy, struggled kind of at the plate in game 1. Game 2, he has been great. 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, an RBI knocked to left center his last time up. Jones fires, and Beckert takes that over the plate for strike one. The 0-1 on the way. Way inside, evens it up at 1 apiece. The 1-1. Beckert spits that foul into the trees. One-two count. Jones fires. Just off the plate. Evens it up at 2 apiece. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Zagerman at third. Jones kicks, delivers. Swing and a miss. He gets Beckert going. That'll end the inning. Jones, another scoreless performance. And we head to the top of the 6th. Edgewood leading 8-6 when we come back. Top of the 6th, Edgewood up 8-6 as Mac Vesterman steps up to the plate. Vesterman, RBI single to right. His last time up on a grounder. Hot shot through the gap. Back out on the mound for another inning work is Matthew Liccardi. And he induces the foul for strike one. Oh, 1 count. Liccardi settles in. He'll kick and fire. That drops low, ball 1. One count. Liccardi deals. That's fouled off again. One-two count. Liccardi trying to finish off Vesperman. He'll kick and fire. And it's low. Evens things up at 2 apiece. Two count. Swing and a miss. He gets him going. Vesperman goes fishing low. That's out number 1.
Left fielder number 7, Ryan Harris.
And the 1 out, Ryan Harris stepping up to the plate. Struck out swinging his last time up. And he lifts that into left field for a base hit. Textbook single. There's a man on with one out.
Catcher number 8.
Same order as last inning. First guy goes down. Next guy gets a base hit. We'll see what Ben Truby does. Got a man on first with one out. Truby settles in. McCarty checks to first. Now he fires. That's off the plate for ball one. One-0 count. Pitch on the way. That's lifted foul over the Cougar dugout. A lot of foul balls today. Edgewood's been making really good contact with it. One count. Licardi working it. And he fires. And that's off the plate again, ball two. 2-1. That's fouled off again. It'll even things up with 2-2. Truby's 2 for 3 on the day. Started off with a pair of singles and grounded out his last time up. Here's the 2-2 from Licardi. Throw down to first, not in time. Harris just beats the throw back to the bag, and that fills the count up at 3-2. Full count. McCarty back on the rubber. Here's the payoff. And it's fouled off again by Truby. Once that bat's gone, ball foul, ball foul, ball foul. Truby would love to see that fourth ball here. Licardi would like to see something besides a foul. 3-2 pitch. Grounded over to third. Mahler going to second for one. Over to first. In time! Double play! 5-4-3. Cougs turn two. Sperendo barely able to bring it down in time at second, and he does. Heck of a play from the second baseman who's having a great day defensively. And that sends us to the bottom of the sixth. Licardi gets through it in 3 batters. Cougars trailing by 2 when we come back.
second baseman, number 8.
Bottom of the 6th, Cougars coming back up to the plate, trailing by 2, 8-6. Richie Sperando leading things off for CUC. Cam Buckley's on deck. Brendan Holloway in the hole. Sperando watches it go outside for ball 1. Takes a big swing and a miss at that one for strike 1. 1-1. Brando's 1 for 2, singled his last time up at the plate. And this time he grounds it over third. Charging Hellenbrand, picking it up, firing to first in time for the out. Another good defensive play, and that's been one of the big difference makers today, is the defense for Edgewood. They have been much better on the defensive end than the Cougars have. Cam Buckley up to the plate now for the Cougs. He's 1 for 3. Fired a hard hit single through the infield his last time up. His first hit of the day. Shows bunt, flashes it, pulls back, and he gets the ball. 1-0 count. Holloway sits on deck with 1 out. And Buckley fouls that off, evens up the count 1-1. Jones at 78 pitches thrown. No action in the bullpen for Edgewood. You got a few guys standing out there. Maybe they're getting ready to go. It also is very, very chilly and windy in River Forest today. You might just be trying to get the blood pumping. That's off the plate. 2-1 count now on Buckley. Steps back up to the plate. The 2-1. Off the plate again, 3-1. A good patient at bat from Buckley. Trying to get on base. Jones fires, Buckley fouls that up. That'll come down. Under it is Hellenbrand to make the play. Buckley slams the bat to the ground. Anything getting fouled down the third baseline, if it's high in the air, the wind's blowing it back into play. Hellenbrand has profited off of that a lot today.
Left fielder, number 17, Brendan Holloway.
Brendan Holloway stepping up to the plate. He singled to right his last time up. Jones fires. Holloway up the middle, into the outfield for a base hit. His third single of the game. This time he goes center instead of right. And that'll put a man on first. With 1 out, Jake Mahler coming up to the plate. Mahler, he's 2 for 3 this game. Picked up a single his last at-bat, drove a homer 2 at-bats ago. Jones gets the call. Back on the rubber. He fires. As way low between the legs of Truby. Holloway into second easily. Moving up on the pass ball. One 0 count. Jones fires. Mahler watches it go outside 2-0. Let Mahler get on base. You got Brandon Mahler waiting in the wings. The 2-0 on the way from Cash Jones. Bends it inside, can't bend it enough. And it's a 3-0 count on Jake Mahler. Now the arms are up and throwing in the bullpen. Here comes the 3-0. That time he just fires it over the middle of the plate, pumping it in for strike 1. Jones starting to get back into the at-bat. Here comes a 3-1. way inside for ball 4. Ben Truby couldn't find it. How often do you see that? It's off the chest, landed down right behind him. He thought it was over to the right. The mask is off. He's spinning in circles looking for it. Mahler's walking to first. Holloway was standing at second for a hot minute, a good few seconds, wondering, can Truby actually not find the ball? And he realized, oh, shoot, he actually doesn't know where it is. And he jogs on over to third. What a weird play. Brendan Holloway takes advantage of it. It's first and third for the Cougs with 2 outs. Brandon Mahler at the plate. Takes that first pitch pumped low for a strike. This is the same situation he was in. Except Holloway was at second instead of third last time at the plate. He drove a double to the fence. The 0-1 pitch. Mahler over to second. Picked up by Comer over to first. For out number 3, that ends the inning. Cougars can't score. We head to the top of the 7th. It's 8-6 Edgewood.
Number 33, Charlie Tompak.
Top of the 7th, Matthew Liccardi back out on the mound for the Cougs. Charlie Tompak stepping up to the plate for Edgewood. Liccardi deals. That's in the dirt for ball 1. The 1-0 on the way. It's lifted high into left center. Tracking is Holloway, and he makes the play for out 1. One away brings Carter Kelly up to the plate.
Number 10, Carter Kelly.
Drove a double down the third baseline all the way into the corner. His last time up. He's 2 for 3. Carty sends that outside in the dirt again. Ball 1. Carty kicks, fires. Lifted into left center again. This time Buckley calls for it, and he makes the play for out number 2. The boys trading responsibilities out in left center. That brings Hayden Hellenbrand up to the plate with 2 away and nobody on. Hellenbrand's 1 for 4 on the day. He reached on an error earlier in the game, his last at bat. A very awkward, almost double. in shallow center. McCarty fires. And that's popped up towards the Cougar dugout. And the play is made! How about that? Connor Jerkadis! We didn't even see it. We just got the call.
In the inning, the Eagles go out.
Everybody gets out of the way. He makes some kind of fantastic play. That's 3 up, 3 down for Liccardi.
With the score, Eagles 8.
And we head to the bottom of the 7th. Cougars trailing by 2 when we come back.
Number 14 down.
Bottom of the 6th. Cougars trailing by 2, 8-6. Dom Owens leading things off for the Cougs. Cash Jones back out on the mound for his 7th inning of work. He's at 90 pitches thrown through those first 7 innings. He's given up 13 hits and 6 earned runs. Owens fouls that pitch off to start this at-bat. Owens is 1 for 3. He singled and started that rally back in the bottom of the 4th. This time he grounds it over to second. Kammer over to first for out number 1. So Xavier Zagerman stepping into the box with 1 away. He lined a double into left field his last time up. He's 1 for 3 on the game. Jones sets, kicks and fires. Oh, and he spikes that into the dirt. One 0 count on Zagerman. The 1-0 pitch. High for ball 2. Two-0 count on Zagerman. Jones fires, and that's fouled straight back. Makes it a 2-1 count. The 2-1 pitch from Jones. Fouled down, evens things up at 2 apiece. Two and two. Jones kicks, fires, and Zagerman fouls it off. That one stings as he walks it off, bounce off the plate, up into his right rib cage. Normally that's a spot that would hit the arm, but arm was up after the follow through. He's been banged up a lot today as he steps back into the box with a 2-2 count. 3 straight foul balls for Zagerman. Hoping that a lot of contact will make something good happen. The 2-2. He fouls it off again. This hasn't been weak foul balls, too. He's making solid contact on these fouls. They're just not going straight. The 2-2 pitch from Jones. Good take from Zagerman. Holds up and spits on it away. 3-2 count, the payoff pitch. Oh, and he chops that over towards third. Hallenbrand picks it up, firing to first for the out. Not what Zagerman was looking for. And it sends him back to the dugout. 2 away. In the bottom of the 7th, Connor Jerkadis coming up to the plate. Jerkadis 0 for 3 on the day. Flew out to right his last time up. Jones gets the call. He kicks and fires. Jerkadis fouls the first one off. The 0-1. Down in the dirt makes it a 1-1. Jones over 100 pitches thrown now. Here's the 1-1 again. Truby tries to frame it. Well outside, makes it a 2-1 count. The 2-1. Makes it a 3-1 count. Jerkadis trying to work a walk. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Spits on it away. Ball 4. He'll head to first. Man on with 2 outs for Jeffrey Beckert. Beckert's 2 for 3 on the day. Struck out swinging his last time up. Jones fires. Oh, Beckert trying to check the swing, and it's chopped down to the mound for out number 3. Tough break for Beckert. That brings us to the top of the 8th. Edgewood still up by 2. It's 8-6 Eagles when we come back. Top of the 8th, Edgewood up 8-6 over Concordia. Kyle Prindle stepping up to the plate for the Eagles. On the mound for the inning, Kyle Connolly for the Cougars. Connolly's had a very solid last week. Picked up a 2-inning save on Sunday against 3-inning save on Sunday against Marion. As that's going to be flared into left. Holloway charging on it. Can't make the play. He lost his glove. And he's holding his hand as he gets back up. Base hit for Kyle Prindle. Leadoff man's on for Edgewood, and now Holloway has to track all the way back and get his hat. That flew off when he started running. Jacob Carney stepping up now, the man on and no outs. Struck out swinging his last time up. Connolly, 3-inning save against Marion a couple weeks back on Sunday. And picked up a 2-inning save against Illinois Tech in game 1 of that doubleheader on Tuesday. Carney shows bunt, pulls back, takes it for a ball. One 0 count. Connolly fires it in. Carney shows bunt again, pulls back, gets the ball again. 2-0 count. 2-0 pitch on the way. This time he gets the bunt popped up, caught by Connolly. He can't make the throw to first. And it would have been a tough play to make either way. Probably couldn't have gotten there in time, but Kyle Connolly gets out number 1. A nice snag on the popped bunt.
Kyle's defensive plays are always exciting. Second baseman number 1, Aiden Palmer.
Runner on first, 1 out for Aiden Comer, who's 3 for 4 on the game. Grounded out to short his last time up. Connolly checks and fires. That's lifted to left. Holloway tracking under it, makes the play. There's out number 2.
Designated hitter number 32, Mac.
That'll bring Mac Vesperman up to the plate for Edgewood. Vesperman's 1 for 3. Struck out swinging his last time up. He's got Prindle at first. Connolly's trying to make quick work of this Edgewood lineup. He's got 2 innings to get through to end the game. Grooves have 2 innings, claw back a 2-run deficit. You want to keep it at 2. And that's going to be in the dirt, loose, and Prindle takes second. One 0 count on Vesperman. Connolly glances at second and fires. That's in for a strike. 1-1 count on Vesperman. You want to keep it at 2. This is an explosive Cougars team. Normally, they haven't been as explosive today. To give you an idea of how explosive, the Cougars haven't given up 10 or more runs in every single game they've played since April 6th, that game being a 3-1 win against Benedictine. In that span, though, they've been winning a good chunk of those games, too. They've been scoring a ton of runs as well. The offense hasn't been as explosive as it usually has in the last couple weeks today. As Vesperman pops that up to short, Beckert settling under it, and he makes the play for out number 3.
In the inning, no runs.
Leadoff man gets on.
On base.
Connolly
We go to the bottom
gets the
of
next 3.
8-6.
We head to the bottom of the 8th. Cougars got 2 innings to go to try and claw back a 2-run gap. We'll be back in just a minute. Bottom of the 8th in the Thunderdome. Cougars trailing by 2. It's 8-6 Eagles. Concordia has 6 more outs to try and bring that gap back. They haven't scored in the last 3 innings. Cash Jones back out on the mound for his 8th inning of work. He fires that first pitch in for a strike. He's at 107 pitches thrown now. Richie Sprando flies that into right field. Under it is Tom Pack to make the play for out number 1. Now you want to start your inning, but you got 1 out. In the top of the order, coming back up to the plate, Cam Buckley. Stepping into the box. He's 1 for 4, had an RBI single back in the fourth. Jones kicks and fires, and Buckley grounds it to first. Carney does it himself for out number 2. With 2 away and nobody on, Brendan Holloway will step up to the plate for the Cougars. Holloway's 3 for 4 with a trio of singles. He's reached base with those singles in both of his last 2 at-bats. Jones kicks and fires. That's high for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. Holloway, a worm burner up the middle for a base hit. Another single for Brendan Holloway. And that puts a man aboard for Jake Mahler.
Third baseman number 5, Jake Mahler.
Mahler 2 for 3 on the day. Drew a walk in his last at-bat. Has a sole homer for either team in both games with a solo shot to center back in the 3rd. Jones fires. That's way outside in the dirt. Truby's able to keep it in front of him and keep Holloway at first. 1-0 count. Jones fires. That's high for ball 2. This is the part of the lineup you want up when you got in that clutch territory. You do have 2 outs. You can't afford another one. You got 1 more inning after this one. 2-0 pitch to Mahler. And he takes it in the zone for strike 1. 2-1 count now. Jones gets the call. Peeks over at first, steps on the rubber and fires. And Mahler fouls that to the backstop, evens things up at 2. Jones dealing the 2-2 pitch. Way inside. It fills it up, 3-2. Full count, 2 outs, runner at first, Concordia trailing by 2. Jones, the payoff. A good take from Mahler. He watches it go by for ball 4. He draws the walk. And that brings Brandon Mahler to the plate. 2 away, 2 on. Brandon Mahler's 2 for 4 on the day. A single and a double off the top of the wall back in the 4th. Grounded out to second. His last at bat. Jones fires. Mahler watches it go in the dirt for ball 1. One-0 count. Holloway at second. Jones checks back. And he fires. Mahler takes that on the inside edge for strike 1. 1-1 count. The 1-1 from Jones. And Mahler tried to rip it, and he's out ahead of it. Grounds it foul to the dugout. It's a 1-2 count. He was seeing red on that pitch and just got a bit too jumpy. The 1-2. Into left field, it's a base hit. Holloway. They're going to hold him at third. He slips. Is able to get back. Another base hit. Single for Brandon Mahler. And that's going to load the bases for Dom Owens. Good hold over at third on Holloway there. No point in risking it. You need more than one run to tie the game. Dom Owens is 1 for 4 on the day, a single back in the fourth. And he takes that first pitch high for a ball. There's action in the bullpen for Edgewood. Coach Brissak's letting Jones go for a while here. He's at 122 pitches. The 1-0 from Jones. Inside, ball 2. You have to imagine if he walks Owens here, or if Owens gets a hit, that's going to be his day done. The 2-0. Off the edge. 3-0 count on Owens. You got to imagine Owens has the red light here. You got to keep the bat on the shoulder, but you know you're getting something to hit. 3-0 on the way. And that does catch the inside edge for a strike. Owens, a cheeky grin at the umpire. That one barely catching it. 3-1 count. Cash Jones fires. That's low in the dirt. Ball 4. He walks in a run, and the Cougars are 1 away from tying this game. And Xavier Zagerman coming up. Bases loaded. Cougars down by 1. Jones is staying in. At 126 pitches thrown, he's giving up a 2-out rally, and he just walked in a run. The tying run's at third. The go-ahead run's at second. They're leaving him on the mound. A lot of confidence in Jones from Coach Brizak here. Zagerman. Ooh, tough take up high for ball 1. One 1-0 count on Zagerman. Jones. He kicks and fires. That's high again, ball 2. That one, not the release he wanted on the breaking ball. He let it go early. You could kind of see it slip a bit as he released. 2-0 count. You can see the fatigues getting to Jones. Fires that one in. Zagerman. A big rip, and he's way behind it. Jones breaking out the high heat. 2-1 count. Jones fires. Oh, that's high. Zagerman went. That's strike 2. Couldn't hold up. The count's even. The tying run's at third. Jones fires. Zagerman pops it up to left. Harris tracking for out number 3. Cash Jones gets out of it. The Cougars put a run across, but strand the bases loaded as we head to the top of the 9th. Edgewood leading by 1, 8-7 when we come back. Top of the ninth in River Forest. Edgewood leading 8-7 by just one run with 1 inning to go. Kyle Connolly back out on the mound for another inning of work. Ryan Harris leading things off for Edgewood. Takes that pitch low for a ball. 1-0 count on Harris. Another one taken low for ball 2. Cougars were able to put a run across in the 8th and make the gap just 1. They still trail. Here's a 2-0. Oh, and it hits him. Connolly loses it. It's off the elbow, and the leadoff man is on. So Harris over at first is Ben Truby. Heads over to first.
Catcher number 18, Ben Truby.
Truby gets set. He's 2 for 4 on the day. Grounded out his last 2 times up. Connolly fires. Truby showing bunt, pulling back. Harris in safely at second. Stolen base. And a ball. One 1-0 count. Man at second. No outs. Edgewood looking for some insurance. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded over towards second. Sperando gets it on the hop. Jerkais has to look for the bag. Out number 1. That stolen base coming up huge now. No double play opportunity on that one. And now you have a guy at third with just 1 out.
Right fielder number 33, Charlie Tompak.
Got Ryan Harris at third for Charlie Tompak. He's 1 for 3. Anything deep to the outfield, even if it's a fly out, would score a run. Connolly fires. That's fouled off hard by Tompak. The 0-1. Off the plate, evens it up at 1 apiece. The 1-1. Fired on the bottom edge. Strike 2. 1-2 count on Tompak. You got Harris over at third, 1 out. Connolly. Swing and a miss. Ooh! The breaking ball gets Tompak looking silly. That makes it 2 outs as Carter Kelly steps up to the plate. You got to get a base hit to drive in the run. Connolly fires. That catches the corner. Strike 1. Painting the edge. Oh, 1. Connolly. He'll fire. Swing and a miss. Another breaking ball fools Kelly. Ultimate pitchers count 0-2. Connolly fires. Strike 3. Gas on 0-2. Connolly. You got a man on second, no outs, retires the next 3 straight, back-to-back strikeouts. We head to the bottom of the 9th, Concordia trailing by 1 when we come back. Bottom of the ninth, Cougars trailing by 1 to Edgewood. Cash Jones is back out on the mound to go for the complete game. He's had 131 pitches thrown. Leading off the inning and pinch hitting for Connor Drakatis is Jack Linko. He's the everyday first baseman for CUC. Got a rest for Connor Drakatis in game 2. He's pinch hitting here in the bottom of the ninth. This count starts 0-1. Jones fires. That's way off and in the dirt for 0-2. And you do have Jones on the mound, but two guys, hoodies off, warming up on the bullpen. They've been there for a while. And you have to imagine the first sign of trouble. Oh! That might be the first sign of trouble that Coach Brizak would pull him for. They're going to leave him in the game. So, Linko gets tagged. Leadoff man's on, no outs. So, that's not scary enough for Brizak. It's a question, and I haven't watched enough of this Edgewood team to know. Do they want to just try and give Cash Jones a chance to earn the complete game here? Is the bullpen really that shaky that a guy at 133 pitches is a better option? Becker, he shows bunt, he pulls back, he takes it for a ball. Cash Jones, in the last 2 innings, his ball-to-strike ratio has dropped. It's still pretty good, 52 balls, 82 strikes, but that was about a 40-50 pitch difference at one point. Oh, my goodness! Becker showing bunt, that ball at his head. He falls back out of the way. Yeah, you can see that fatigue setting in for Jones, and that might be the plug. We'll see if they bring the arms out of the bullpen. Coach Brizak looking over there, and he's pointing. Cash Jones, he's getting too wild. His day is done. A pitcher's been pulled mid-at-bat. That's a baseball rarity. Jones out of the game, into the game. I'll let you know who that arm is, and they'll get warmed up. It's Owen Davis headed out in relief. And Coach Brizak taking a little bit of a gamble here. Davis, he's had 5 appearances, just 6 innings pitched this season. Through those 6 innings, he's got a 7.5 ERA, giving up an opponent batting average of .357. And a sophomore out of Verona, Wisconsin. Davis, his last appearance a week ago on April 11th against Dominican. Pitched a scoreless inning in that game. And while that ERA is high, he hasn't given up a run since March 15th. He's pitched scoreless innings, had scoreless outings against Trinity, Marion, and Dominican, with 4 strikeouts in those innings. So he's been hotter as of late. Coach Brizak hoping he can get the hot hand here to get the final 3 outs. Mention the baseball rarity. You don't see coaches too often pull a pitcher mid-at-bat, but Jones, missing off to the right on the first one and then wildly inside over Beckert's head. And you have to imagine if Beckert was standing up on that one and wasn't going for a bunt, he probably would have just taken it. So Jones too wild. They pull him. Owen Davis on the mound to try and close this game out. It's a 2-0 count on Becker. 2 balls, no strikes. Linko over at first with no outs. There's a pinch runner for Jack Linko. We'll let you know who that is in a second. Beckert showing bunt. Davis fires. And that's foul back. Quinton Guardia pinch running over at first. 2-1 count on Beckert. Davis fires. That's low. Ball 3. 3-1 count on Beckert. A little tough coming in mid-at-bat. Jones has only thrown 1 ball, but he's in a 3-1 count. Sorry, Davis has. It's a unique dynamic. Davis fires the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. First 2 runners are aboard. First and second, no outs for the Cougs. Richie Sperando. You might get deja vu from this one, Cougs. Just on Tuesday, Richie Sperando came up in the bottom of the 9th. In that game, the game was tied. He drove in the winning run on a walk-off single here. Probably not a walk-off opportunity with a single, but a clutch moment for Sperando. Showing bunt, and it's popped foul. Strike 1 on Sperando. He's 1 for 4 on the day. Picked up a single back in the 4th. He's been making good contact as of late. 0-1 count. Davis looking back at second. He'll kick and fire. That one's down low for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count on Sperando. He shows bunt. Davis fires. This time he gets it down the first baseline. Turning towards third. They have to go to first. Comer just barely able to stay on the bag, but it advances both runners. That's out number 1. Runners at second and third now. If Carney had fielded that cleanly, he could have had a shot at Guardia at third. Instead, he had to go to first. Cam Buckley up to the plate with runners at second and third and 1 out. Buckley's 1 for 5, grounded out to first his last time up. This time, he chops that foul. It's been a rough day for Cam Buckley. This is his 12th at-bat between the 2 games. Through his first 11, he's 1 for 11. He's been struggling to lift it up in the air. 0-1 count. Davis kicks and fires. Buckley takes it inside and low for ball 1. 1-1 count. You have 1 out. Buckley's on deck. Holloway, who's been hitting it very well today, is on deck. You have Jake Mahler in the hole. Davis in the 1-1 count. Gets the call. He kicks and fires. That's wild. It's to the backstop. A lucky bounce for Edgewood. It bounces straight off the padding to Truby. Guarded. And even if he wanted to come home, he didn't have a chance. By the time he stopped, it was already back in Truby's hand. Not a tough decision for Guardia to make. 2-1 count. Davis. He kicks and fires. That's pumped in for a strike. Evens things up at 2 apiece. Two count. Oh, fouls it off the ankle. He'll stay alive. The 2-2. In there, fills it up. The inside pitch, 3-2 count. The payoff pitch from Davis. Oh, Cam Buckley was headed to first. They ring him up inside. Buckley holding his head as he heads to the dugout. He is not like the call. And now Brendan Holloway up to the plate. If there's a guy you want at the plate today, it is Brendan Holloway in this situation. You just need a base hit to drive in at least the tying run. The tying run's at third, and Holloway, he's 4 for 5. 4 singles in this game. Davis fires. Holloway takes it low and out, ball 1. It's a 1-0 count. Davis gets the call. He kicks and fires. That's outside again, ball 2. You have the open base at first, but waiting in the wings is Jake Mahler, and he's not any better of a guy to be facing in this spot. 2-0 count. Davis fires. That's low again, ball 3. And Davis has himself in a hole. 3-0 count. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Davis. Outside, not playing with it. You don't want to give up the easy base hit. He'll load up the bases. A 4-pitch walk. Holloway heads to first. They're juiced for Jake Mahler.
The third baseman, number 5, Jake Mahler.
Jake had a bit of an iffy game 1. He's been great in game 2. 2 for 3. A homer, a single. He's drawn walks in his last 2 at-bats. Anything would drive in a run. A walk, a hit by pitch, anything down on the ground. He fouls that first pitch back. He wanted it. Got out ahead of the breaking ball and got under it. Probably better he got under it than grounding it out. 0-1 count. Davis. He kicks and fires. That's into the outfield, and it's down! Gordon scores! Here comes Becker! The Cougars win!
Wow.
Jake Mahler walks it off! 9-8 in 9! The Cardiac Cougs do it again! A big-time comeback win to steal back the split. And Jake Mahler has himself a day. Heartbreak for Edgewood. Kyle Prindle still just standing out in the outfield. He had a chance to snag that out of the air. It went off of his glove. And the Cougars bring 2 across, and they win 9-8. Jake Mahler gets it done for Concordia. Whew. It's never the way you really go into the game planning for, but the Cougars, they've been making a habit of it lately as they pick up another win. Concordia moving up to 11-6 in conference as Edgewood drops to the same record.
For the Concordia Cougars, 9 runs, 16 hits.
A 9-8 walk-off win for Concordia. Jake Mahler, 3 for 4.
For the Edgewood Eagles,
A
8
pair of
runs,
singles and a home run for Mahler. One of those singles, the walk-off.
no errors, and 10 left on base.
As that won it for the Cougars. 16 hits, produces 9 runs, 14 hits.
Pitcher is Connolly, now 5-2.
For Edgewood, produces 8 runs.
Pitcher is Jones, now 2-2. Time of the game, 2 hours.
Over on Edgewood's end, Cash Jones. 8 innings pitched, 137 pitches thrown. He gave up 15 hits, ended up giving
Ladies and gentlemen, as you
up
read the
8
facilities
earned runs.
around your seating area,
It was a grueling outing from Owen Davis. Takes loss, gives up the losing earned run. Kyle Connolly comes into the game. 2 innings, no runs allowed for Connolly. Same for Matthew Carty. Went 2 2/3, no runs allowed. Some great performances out of the bullpen in Game 2 for the Cougars. Elliott Higgins, a good start on his senior day. He went 4 1/3, gave up 4 earned runs. Over on offense, like we mentioned, Jake Mahler, 3 for 4 in Game 2, including the walk-off single. Brendan Holloway ended up going 4 for 5. He drew four singles. The tying run scored by Quinton Gordia, pinch running for Jack Linko, the winning run. Jeffrey Becker drew the walk from Owen Davis. And the Cougars win 9-8 in dramatic fashion, and they split the doubleheader here on Senior Day. Over on Edgewood's end, a good day from Aiden Comer, a trio of singles. He scored twice. Mac Vesterman picked up a pair of RBIs. Edgewood puts up 8. It's not enough to win it. Cougars a dramatic walk-off win on Senior Day in game number 2. 9-8, their second walk-off win in the last 5 days. As they move up to 11-6 in conference, the Cougars, as of now, will move on tomorrow to take on Marian University up in Fond du Lac. If that game does or does not happen after that, they take on a non-conference matchup against North Central this upcoming Wednesday. That game will be live here on the Cougar Sports Network. That'll do it for the game action here in River Forest. Concordia Chicago, dramatic 9-8 walk-off win in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. They split the series with Edgewood, and both of these teams end up, and the Cougars move to 11-6. On the NAC play, the Eagles move to 10-6, and they hold station 4th and 5th in the NAC. That'll do it for the game action. Don't go too far away from the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be right back in just a minute with a post-game interview with your victorious Cougars. What's up, Cougar Nation? I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network here after a dramatic Game 2 win in today's doubleheader, 9-8 walk-off win over the Edgewood Eagles. And the guy who hit the walk-off single, Jake Mahler, is here with me. Jake, firstly, congratulations on a big win on Senior Day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And Jake, big win on Senior Day. We'll start with the not as fun stuff, then get to the fun stuff. Senior Day, tough game one for you guys. Took a big loss to Edgewood. You bounce back in a big way in game two. You stick with it all the way through. What goes into being able to bounce back from a tough loss in just 30 minutes?
You know, it's been the story all year for us. Didn't have any of our faces in game one, but you know what? This group's really good at flushing it. Moving on to the next game. You know, I was fortunate enough with these doubleheaders going to the second game right after that. So we were able to just flush it. Get ready to go for game two. Come out of here at least a split. You know, we'll take that. You know, every conference win, got to take them how we can get it. Anyway, in the tournament. You know?
Yeah. And you mentioned there, you guys have been seeing this all season long. One of the things we've been seeing all season long, the Cardiac Cougs. A lot of dramatic finishes for you guys. A lot of close games. Today, no exception. 8-6 for a hot minute there. Both y'all and Edgewood just putting up single, getting on base. You guys were able to stay with them all game long, even when Edgewood had the upper hand. Their starter, Cashton Jones, a great 8 innings pitched from him that kind of puts you guys on the back foot. You stick with it. You stay close all game long. What goes into being able to stay that close right up to the end?
You know, just one pitch at a time. Not trying to do too much with each of our at-bats. You know, we talked about all year having team at-bats, you know.
Yeah.
Just keep moving the train along, string together a couple hits, you know, good things are going to happen. You know, we had a 5 spot in that one inning. That was absolutely massive.
Yeah.
You know, just kept chipping away. They were able to pull it off in the end. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and looking at you yourself, a great game, too, for you. 3 for 4, picked up a couple walks. You had the first run for your squad today, a homer back in the third, and then the walk-off single to win it in the ninth. A great game, too, from you. And like we kind of mentioned earlier, it's on Senior Day, your Senior Day. What does it kind of mean to have a big game like that and provide the engine for the offense and finish things off on Senior Day?
You know, it's pretty special. You know, this is a pretty big senior group, 13 guys. This is a special place, man. We'll be able to be here for 4, some guys 2 years. You know, we don't want this to end, obviously. We got to count our days at some point, but it's very special.
Yeah.
Each and every one of these guys have put the great work in just to come together collectively as a group and to be the Cardiac Cougs that we are. You know, it's really special. You know, to all these guys out here who put the work in every single day, show up for the guys. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned in there, you don't want it to end anytime soon. Not your last game of the year, not your last home game of the year. A good chunk of NAC play still to go, and then you got the conference tournament after that. After a big win today, you take a big, tough doubleheader split against Edgewood, who you guys are right up against with in the conference standings. Where do you go from here? How can kind of a big win like this give you some momentum going forwards?
You know, just obviously, like we talked about, we don't have a lot of baseball left. Obviously, after the conference tournament, keep going. But just one game at a time. You know, just keep showing up, keep putting in the work. Good things are going to happen like that.
Yeah.
You know, we got North Central coming up on Wednesday. Can't take anyone for granted like that, even though it's a non-con. Every single game matters. So we just got to keep showing up, putting the work in, keep stacking wins, keep the momentum going, straight into the conference tournament. Absolutely,
Jake. And again, thank you for joining us, and congratulations on a big 9-8 walk-off win over Edgewood in game number 2. Thank you for joining us today on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougar baseball still coming up this next Wednesday against North Central. That's the next time the Cougars will be in action. That'll be right here in River Forest and on the Cougar Sports Network. Thank you for joining us once again. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network. Thank you to everyone who made today's broadcast possible. And as always, roll Cougs.
So much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.